Greetings and welcome back once again. This is Amuna, and I pray everybody is doing well. I'm gonna run the little intro and then we're gonna get started. All right. Welcome back once again. I pray everybody is doing well and that you had a blessed evening, day, relaxing thing. Take it off of your mind, no stressing, because all of this is very important. It is very important. I said, let me come on here really quickly. And I'm gonna put the link in the description really quickly because I had initially intended to do a reading. But based on the way the comment section is going, I'm the type of person I like to speak to whatever things that I may see arise as time progresses, right? So I'm going to go ahead and let everybody see me here. Greetings, everybody. I pray everybody's doing well, right? And so, again, I'm going to address some things that I saw in the comment section. And greetings to everybody who is new, who's brand new to the channel. Okay, my name is Amuna Israel. I've been on YouTube for, let's say, a long time, okay? A long time, right? And there's always been a bit of a continuity. So this is like a little reconnection meet and greet, right? For all, because I know there's a new subscribers. A lot of people are here because of the Bob and Rita series. So shout out to you. A lot of people have been here and a lot of people are just coming. And everybody, we're just reacquainting ourselves in a little meet and greet. Let me put on my glasses so that the TV screen won't, cause no trouble and thing. All right. And so I've been seeing some text and some feedback that I want to address. I'm going to address some of the simple ones first, right? And then I'll go into some of the other ones, right? That I'm like, huh? Are we spinning tails here? Okay. So one of them is from, I believe it is, I can't see the whole name. Amandel. It says, love your channel, but the one thing I don't like about the book club is it keeps going back. Like, I want to know more about Bob's cancer and his treatment, yet we're still somewhere here. I hope we can delve into the baptism and at least few months of his treatment. The book reading is lagging. I want to say when I started the first video, I did not start in sequential order. If you're new to the channel, I've been reading on this channel for quite some time. And I realized that everybody should hopefully read the books. That's why I have the links in the comment. And then we touch on certain points. Now, I can't touch on all the points. There's some people saying, Amuna, go to the next book. And other people saying, no, we're not done yet. Because this is the first one of its kind and it's so expansive, I can understand how people may be overwhelmed. And that's also okay. If you see it's another topic that you may say, I don't have the mental capacity to deal with right now, or the emotional space, it's okay. And so I wanted to say to that, I'm not going to be able to touch all of these topics. And I have put the links to the books and in the description so that we can read these and then chime in as it goes along. So I wanted to say, I see you, I hear you, but I'm not going to be able to touch on every single topic, right? We also have April. Shout out to you, April. I always see you in the comment section, so shout out to you. She says, Amuna, you have to start acknowledging the people who send you good information by name. It's the proper thing to do. Otherwise, it comes across as dismissive. Now, out to this, I want to say, thank you for your feedback. Here's the situation for me, as somebody who's been on public platforms of this nature. If you or if the person writes me a public message, like say I'm here and I'm reading comments and somebody's saying, I'm going to check this out, and I'm reading it live and everybody can see it, it's public. If somebody sends me an email and they want to share something and they want me to share it, unless they otherwise gave me confirmation to share their name, I'm not just going to jump off and share their name. Why? Because they did not confirm with me that they wanted me to share their name. So I err on the side of caution. I always say a subscriber sent me this. I always give thanks for those who are sending it in. And if they tell me in the email, hey, Amuna, you could, I don't mind you telling them who sent it to you, no problem. But I err on the side of caution as it relates to that. Again, this is just some housekeeping for those who's like, Amuna, what are you reading there? It's just so that we can all be, I think communication is important, and so that we can all be aware of why somebody may be doing something, how it may look to you, and what it is that I'm really doing. So if you send me an email in the future and it's some information that you want me to share and you don't mind me sharing your name, please let me know, so that nobody comes, oh, Mona, where you go tell the people that my name for, and that, how I'm supposed to know that? Because you sent it to my personal inbox, right? And so that's why I do that. Let me see here. Another thing is, and shout out to everybody who is enjoying it right now. I'm just kind of touching on, I usually share and reshare the encouraging threads, like, you know, you're helping me along, or it helped me to smile. Those always bring a smile to my face, because people ask, well, why am I doing this? I want to kind of get to that someone asked me if I had an agenda. Surprise, surprise. If you took time to peruse the channel, my agenda is literacy. It's promoting literacy. It's promoting reading and discussion, open discussion, by which even if we don't agree with one another, we can be respectful to one another, because that's part of the problem. Why do we can't get along? The reason is, one of which is we don't respect each other. The basis form of respect is listening and communicating. This is why I always drop the link in the box. Why? Because you're taking the time to listen to me, and I drop the link in the box for those who would like to come up and share their thoughts. Sometimes it's crickets, but no one can ever say, Amuna never shares the link, and I can't come up and say what it is that I have to say. So I always invite people respectfully. And that brings me to the next, what do you call it here? The next, I said, let me just do this instead of writing 50 million replies, right? So I responded to that. Someone is saying, and I'm going to tell you who, that let me see here. Hold on. 1 second, you guys. Basically to the effect that I am deleting comments. Here it is. Mr. Song or Mr. Song. Imuna deletes comments that back up Bob and keeps the ones that defend Rita. This is how we come up with theories, right? Are you related to Rita? Are you employed by the Alphabet Boys to really read books in a way to diminish Bob Marley's legacy? Number one, on this channel, you have the option. Why somebody just said, Amuna, thank you for the decorum you keep in the comment section. If you are writing a comment that is defacing someone, that has curse words in it, I personally don't delete it. It's in the YouTube comment box, that if you put these type of comments, or you have these type of words that are not permitted, I don't even see it. So to that question, no, I don't even see it, because the only thing I ask is that we respect one another. Again, because you never know who you're talking to. So there's no need to come off with disrespect when you can as easily say, hey, I disagree with you, and this is the reason why. Secondly, no, I'm not related to Rita. And I didn't know that reading the books written by the people who wrote the books. I don't know why I get a fight on this, you know. When we was reading slave narrative, we get the same fight. You know, there is something that happened, especially in America, about literacy. And this is why there were actual laws passed against literacy for melanated people. There were actually punishments meted out for teaching a melanated person how to read. So I find it perplexing that we live in a time that we can not only just read, because somebody can write anything, but have a safe space where we can discuss what it is we're reading, and it's demonized. I didn't write these books. I do write a book, shout out Island Twist, but I didn't write these books. And the simple fact that we are using our cognitive abilities and our critical thinking skills to assess what it is, So they're telling us and come to our own conclusion. I'm trying to figure out, how do we get to where that's a bad thing, right? I've seen these type of comments time and time again, and I just wanted to shine light on that. So just to recap, I can't touch on every topic. We're actually winding down on Bob Marley. B, no, I'm not related to the family. One person will say, yes, Amuna, you're supporting them. And the next person, listen, as we read different situations, will say, didn't see that. I didn't know that piece of information. And I've said from the beginning, I don't have a dog in this fight. I just love to learn. Okay. So that one is there. I have one more I think I wanted to read. And again, I'm going to come to see if you have anything that you would like to say right now in the comment section, and I'll read that too. Again, why I don't just shout out people's information when they send it to me off the record is unless they tell me to put their name and they don't mind, then I'm not going to put it and assume that they don't mind. So let me come and see one more. I got one more message here. And this is what actually prompted me to come on here respectfully and share my thoughts, is because where are we going with this? You understand? Where are we going with this? So again, this is public so that you'll be able to see. Someone named Faith, okay, says, you're obsessed with Rita. See, I just got accused of protecting Bob and not protecting Rita. Now someone, because we're all coming, what I realized in having this discussion is that it has evoked so many emotions for so many different reasons. And I acknowledge that. However, when we cross over into other spaces, then I'm going to have to address it. And then it's leave her alone. Your videos were fun and lighthearted at first, but now you're trying to tear down a strong Black iconic Jamaican woman with this nonsense. Sometimes in our own relationships, in our family, on the job, wherever we are, how am I supposed to know what you're referring to? If it's a part in the video that I said, give me a time marker so that when you're bringing it up, I can kind of place what upsets you. Where are we in this conversation? Because I don't know where to go with this particular thing. Calling really a liar over something you wasn't there for is plain disrespectful. Now, for those who don't know, I've hosted many shows I've hosted shows in reggae spaces, music spaces. I've been a host. I know how this works. I'm not new to the game. That's why people may say like, oh, Muna, you're so good at this. I've been doing this for many years, right? Sometimes we hear triggers. We hear what it is our ears are conditioned to hear. And we're reacting to what the person said and how it made us feel. Did we take it in context? Is this just a clip? I don't know. But at what point, where, refer to a video, when did I say X, Y, and Z? And if you need clarity, then ask for that as well. This is us learning how to be respectful to one another without jumping to 101 conclusions. This is just my thought. She's old and not in the best condition. Stop gossiping about her for views and go do something constructive with your life. Now, because at first it was lighthearted and we may get into someone else's viewpoint, maybe it's Skill Cole, or maybe it's Don Taylor, or maybe it's Sadella, or maybe it's Bob himself. So now that we're looking at someone else's perspective that doesn't suit our predetermined narrative, the person who's sharing this now becomes the gossiper. I've said it from the beginning and I say that now. How is it gossiping when I'm reading and reviewing what I'm reading and discussing what I'm reading? If you notice, if somebody asks me something that I don't know, I'll say, I don't know. I'm not going to hear spin fanciful tales. My name is not Anansi. And then I see the agenda. How does your comment section go from harmless laughs to toxicity and gossip and rumors? So what I received from that was a bit of condemnation that somehow, some way, something I said was offensive. If that be the case, then bring up what I said so that I can have an opportunity to have that conversation. I kind of wanted to read that because I've noticed, like I said, in doing this type of work for the time that I've been doing it, this is what oftentimes splits people. They like the person and then they didn't like the person because we may get offended, but we can't get past the offense, right? And so I'm going to come to the comment section right now because I needed to do that for the sake of this conversation, and that you can look for your own self at the continuity of the information on this channel, and it doesn't deviate from what it is that I'm doing now. The only difference is you may be inclined to want to know more about Rita than you do about slavery. I mean, the only difference is the subject matter. So with that said, let me go ahead to this comment section, drop a link in the box, okay? And then if you have something to say, again, all I ask is that we be respectful. This is why you see when I see a bit like where we gonna go left, let's not, because why? You know what I mean? We don't know these people unless we know these people, right? And one more person I think came in the comment section and said that, you know, you never know who's in the comment section. Georgia says you never know who's in these comments. Please only state concrete facts. Some are directly or indirectly associated with people you are debating. Please be mindful. And that's what I've been saying. You know, yes, I may have my, you know, my comments, my commentary. It's commentary, right? Because it's YouTube. So I'm commenting on what it is that I'm reading. But yes, I agree. You don't know who's in the comment section. Like the time I did the Taki video and somebody came in the comment section and said they knew Taki. Surprise, surprise. Right? So let's go ahead and see what everybody, shout out to those who've just joined us, who come in at the place. I hope y'all rest up on thing. Let me see here. What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Shout out to those who have just joined us. Kayla says, I love your channel. Thank you. You're doing great. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you so much, KB. And again, if I'm wrong, if you see I say something or I misspoke, I'm a print a retraction. But if someone's coming at me and I'm like, I'm not seeing where we're going with this, then I'm going to respectfully try to address it, right? Just Tripping says, I sent you a lot of things with references. Okay, and sometimes the names that appear here are not the names that appear in the email. So I would just ask going forward, if you want me to say who sent it and give you a shout out, then just let me know. But if you don't let me know that you want, I thank the person personally, but I don't know who it is from sometimes the screen names. So if you want me to give you a shout out, that's not a problem, because cite your sources, right? Cynthia says you keep it organic. You go with the interests of your subscribers. I think it's good. You have to kind of, I don't want to be like rigid, like, no, you know what I mean? But at the same time, the book, the conversation on this particular topic, first of all, I'm cross-referencing like 4 books. That's number one. Number two, it's topic based and not necessarily chronological order. So for those who are like, I want to get to this part, I adjure you. I like throwing in those old school words. I adjure you. Look, I know some of the books are harder to find, but I also showed references where you can get them for free, like archives.org. You can get Sedella's book on archives.org. You can get Don Taylor's book there. You just have to check it out and read it online. So it's all there. And then if you want to speak about something specific, then you don't know already. We can tune into that. Nadine says, I enjoy listening to the reading and commentary. You can't please everybody, Nadine. I understand that. But I also want to let them know, listen, I hear you. But again, you can't please everybody. Because some people I say go, some people I say stop. You know what I mean? And I have to keep it where now it's not overwhelming me in a certain sense, so that I can continue to authentically show up in the same way I showed up in the beginning. I'm Artist said you're doing great. No one is paying to be here. Ain't it the truth though? Ain't it the truth? Yeah. If it's like, oh boy, I'm gonna talk about, but me don't want to hear about that. I started talking about Marcus. Me don't want to talk about Marcus. I think Marcus is the precursor to the whole Bob situation, right? And I'm very much interested in our history, and I'm very much interested in our healing. And I'm not doing this for likes or views. I was reading when I was just on the line. 10 people is on the line. 1,000 people is on the line. If you go back, I'm reading just because I know that I like to speak from an informed position. And when people start talking about slavery and it was the same old narrative, Willie Lynch, I'm like, there got to be more. I don't want to have to pull out all the books. I don't just do this for likes, clicks, and views. So please don't miscategorize me, because maybe you may not have liked something I said. You could just click the link and be like, hey, Amuna, when you said this, what did you mean by that? You know, but let's continue. Nene, I agree. You can't please everybody. You can't please everybody. Yeah, I have house rules. And the reason why is because why disrespect people? Why? Because we're behind the computer, we're up on the internet, so we just feel like we just can't come and disrespect people and then say we can't work together, because respect is the basis of any relationship. Communication and effective. Teeth and tongue are gonna meet. You're gonna feel like, oh yeah, the person don't know how you feel about X, Y, and Z, right? So let's be respectful when we come up, so that we can leave from this conversation and continue to grow and continue to learn, right? So again, if you have something to say, feel free, come in. Yes, I agree, Naja. Having an agree to disagree debate can still be healthy without a whole bunch of nastiness, right? You don't have to go left with the conversation, is what I'm saying. And making false allegations, because that's called an ad hominem attack when you're dealing with dealing with the debate sphere, right? Is a logical fallacy. So I can't refute what it is you say. So I'm going to try to tear you down, right? Why? Why? Akeisha, welcome to the conversation. Give tongues. Jerry, what's going on? And that's what I tried to make it. I tried to make the content educational. And Dr. Charles, I see you. I'm going to come to you right now. I tried to make it informative, and you can go do your own research. Do your own research. You don't have to believe me. That's why some people be like, oh, Muna, you missed this in the book. I want that. I want you to be like, yo, what did you think about this? It's a discussion. I feel so good when so many people say, you know what? I like read. I went and pick up the book. I went and read. I went through it in 1 day, 2 day. You understand what I'm saying? So now when we're coming to the conversation, it's not just hearsay. We're saying, yo, this is what this person said. Let me bring Dr. Charles up. Welcome to the conversation.
Good evening. Hello. Thank you
Good
for
evening.
taking.
How are you?
I'm blessed. How are you?
Blessed as well. Here,
I
taking the team.
I really enjoy your channel. Oh
Thank
my
you.
goodness. You have such an extraordinary gift in storytelling and reading stories and making it clear where it's so, understanding. You know what I'm saying?
I get you. I get you. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Yes, very, very gifted. I enjoyed the entire series. I hate that it's ending soon. I'm hoping that you'll go into the court
Yeah,
paper.
I've been having some requests for that one.
Okay,
Yeah.
wonderful. Because I did hear Cindy Breakspear speaking about it. She was being honored at some ceremony, and she
Mm-hmm.
talked about it briefly. I didn't even know about it. She talked about her part and why she
Right.
felt that she needed to be a part of that. So I would really
Okay.
love to learn more about that.
Okay. So can I ask you a question? Uh, For as your experience, right? Why do you think this topic has had the allure that it has? What do you think it is about this particular Bob Marley topic that has so many people's attention?
Well, I know for sure the movie
Okay.
really was a force in people wanting to know more because it was very limited. It
Hmm.
was a love story between Rita and Bob, but it made people want to dig deeper.
Right.
And I think the controversy comes in, and because he's such a myth, and people want to put him up. He was a man, he was an extraordinary man,
Right.
but they want to put him up as a deity, sort of, and they don't want to hear the negative side.
Mm.
So that's where the controversy comes in, and you start hearing, oh, that's hearsay. How do we know that's true? Because you only want to see the good in the man, and I get it.
Mm.
I get it.
Right.
But the criticism that I'm hearing, I think it's because naturally we want to see him as a hero, and we want to see him as a perfect being, and he wasn't. He was flawed. He was quite
Mm.
flawed. So I believe that's where the controversy comes in. It's hard to listen to negative things about such a wonderful person. He had two sides.
Correct.
So, but I do believe that the interest in the subject is, I think it was really pushed forward because of the movie.
So in a way, the producers and the family who worked on it inadvertently reignited this desire in the people to
I
go and
believe
look for these
so.
old books.
I believe so, and I don't think they were expecting the
Correct.
response they got. I mean, it was the number one movie in America where I am
Right, right.
for a couple of months.
Yeah. And
So
now it's going on what is that? Amazon, where you can now get it on Amazon Prime. So it's not even done. It's about to do another, move to where it is you can watch it in your home. So, definitely thank you so much. I would agree with you that it had a different effect because it left the people belly kind of still hungry. It's
That
like, that's it. Like appetizer, shop lock, it done, go home. And you're like, wait a minute now.
yeah.
So definitely I agree. I agree.
I'm looking forward to the director's cut because I heard that there are scenes
Right.
about Peter and Bunny and a couple of scenes maybe about Cindy. I'm not sure about that, but I did see the actors who were, not very happy that their parts were cut
Parts
out.
were cut. I did see
Right.
the guy who played Peter. I saw
Right.
that. Yeah.
Right. So I'm looking forward to maybe seeing that. What did they feel didn't fit in?
To the narrative.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I had a question for you though.
Go ahead.
I'm first generation American and
Okay.
heritage from Jamaica, but mostly what I know is verbal. I don't
Mhm.
have any birth certificates. Well, I have my grandfather's, but from what been oral history has been handed down that we are supposed to be direct descendants of Nani.
Okay.
I did have a letter from a lieutenant that gave us permission to go into Maroon Town. I think I still
Okay.
have. It was a sergeant or a lieutenant, uh, and it was passed down to me by my great uncle. But he used
Oh,
to
wow.
talk about the history. Um, a lot of it is gone because they've passed away, and
Hmm.
only one that's really interested. I've actually I've always had this draw to Jamaica. I've been there
Hmm.
like about 9 or 10 times, but I never knew before why. And
Right.
then when I learned, well, this is where your great grandmother lived, and then I understood. Where do I
Right.
start by finding out? Where do I get birth certificates? Where do I get
Okay.
proof?
So where I was able to do a lot of the work when I did my own family work is two major sites. And namely for the British West Indies, what used to be is a site called familysearch.org. Right? And so if you have the names, even of your grandmother, your grandfather, and the names and the location, because Jamaica was doing something weird where unless your name was really unique, you're going to find a lot of the names. So you're going to need the indicators to say what parish they were from to be able to whittle it down. But I would definitely start even before ancestry.com. The legal paperwork, a lot of it, the body of it is on familysearch.org, and it's free. You
Okay.
just have to spend time. So that's where I would start, and begin to just sketch out the tree as the pieces fill in, so that you can kind of like sketch down the stories that they did tell you, the things that you do remember, and those are the little markers, the little hints that will help you along the way.
Okay, thank you so much. There's one other question. I know
Okay.
that my great grandfather changed his last name because of family issues and took the last name of a traveler, and so that last name is what he used when he had my grandfather, and
Okay. Do you know
so
the name before?
yes, I do.
All right, so then you should have no problem. Really, the major things you're going to look for is the birth certificates, the marriage certificates, and the death certificates. Those three certificates is going to give you a lot of information.
Okay. Familysearch.org.
Yes, all
Is
one
that
word, .org, yes.
okay? Is that through the Mormon church?
I believe it's one of them that's doing it, I think
Okay.
yeah, I believe that's
Okay.
one of them that's doing it.
Okay. Well, keep doing your a fabulous job.
Thank you
So
so much.
wonderful. And I've actually gone into your channel to look at prior things.
Okay, thank you very much.
Oh yes. I've been really. You've been keeping me busy. I'm not
You
even
see
watching
that?
television.
That me I
Yep.
try say.
All
If them
right
no
then.
want hear Bob, them can go learn some soul movements.
Woo! Yes, such great information on your
Yes,
channel
that
that
me I
goes
try
way
say.
back. I had no idea. I had
Yeah,
no idea. So you
years,
introduced me
for
to your
many
channel.
years, many
Oh,
years.
okay, wonderful, wonderful. And I have to add that I love the way you switch code when you go from speaking. English to patois. I get
Thank
so
you.
tickled. I get so tickled when I hear that. It's such
Thank
a
you.
talent. Keep it
Thank you
up,
so much.
sis. You're doing a
Blessings.
wonderful job.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You have a blessed night.
Do the same. Bye.
Bye bye. So again, the link is in the box. Let me come through. Thank you so much, Dr. Charles, for coming through. And that's kind of what we want to do. We're kind of building a. There's so much besides this story that we can learn and grow from one another, and be blessed in ways that we didn't know was even what we came here for. You understand me? I said. So yeah, I want to thank you for coming. I think you do a great job. You challenge people to think using compare and contrast method. Thank you so much, Angie. Yeah, that's methods we learned in school. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Greetings, Aikisha. Welcome to the conversation. Cynthia, if I say the name wrong, discussing memories in a lively and respectful way is a beautiful thing. And that's the thing. It's a thin line. It's a thin line to engage the information and then actually be honest. Sometimes my children, I hear that, you say things that people are thinking. You know what I mean? It's like it comes out of my mouth, but not in a rude and disrespectful way. It's like, come on, like City, she's doing stuff and you're like, come on, sis. You know what I mean? With the whole boxing, I want to keep it a little light. But when she boxed Yvette, what were you doing? Why did you box Yvette and let her run into the banking like that? And then she told us. What I'm supposed to do with that? What I'm supposed to do with that? Naja says, I'm enjoying Island Tits. Auntie Dolores. You reach Auntie Dolores. Auntie Dolores. If y'all don't know about Island Twist, that story is a trip. But Auntie Dolores was bugging out, man. She was partying. She was partying. And I'm reading, I agree. I saw the people and write it. Just I read what they write, But just I read what they write. They're lucky. Jamaica's like saying that. Yeah, keep reading. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yep. Let me see what's going on. This is wild. There are only two perfect humans. Yeah, this is people are humans. People are humans. I think, and if we walk away from this particular conversation, even when we go into Marcus Garvey, there's going to be some people like, oh, I didn't know about Marcus Garvey, or are you on an agenda? If we, as Dr. Charles said, if we are here to try to make people into these idols, we are causing other people to stumble, right? Because that's not the reality. Somebody says, what is the legacy? Because if the legacy is making this person into this icon, into this idol, and anything that doesn't match, it means that somebody is a hater, then that's not being realistic. If we can look at the Bible and read about King David's indiscretions, and King David was anointed by a prophet according to the text, and he had indiscretions, and he wasn't saved from it being written down and people looking at it and looking at the good that he did and the not so good that he did, right? This is kind of, how is this any different? How is this any different? Lady Leo, what's going on? You finally made a live. Yeah, this time I'm just not reading today. I'm just kind of going over, doing some, meet and greet and them kind of something there. Let me put a link in the box again if somebody wants to share. Whoever thinks you need to stop gossiping and get a life don't have a Cassandra. I don't know. Again, sometimes we feel, I don't know how it's gossiping when you're reading what they said and you're having a conversation. Trish, welcome to the conversation. No, you don't. Again, yes, we don't put anyone on a pedestal. You're reading and reviewing, engaging with others. Right. We're building a conversation. You get to come back to the chat. You get to be lively in the, you know what I mean? You get to exchange ideas. You get to go get information. You get to, and then you go and have other conversations in your everyday life. I mean, because the things that they were going through, it's real. What is your definition of love? A lot of people throw around it was love, but another person may say it was abuse. Another person may say it was exploitation. Another person may say it was a trauma bond. Doesn't mean everybody's lying, or this is what we're seeing. And if your daughter was in a relationship, would you tell your daughter he loves you if he was in a relationship like Rita was in? Like, how do we learn from the past? Would you advise your grandchild to be in a relationship like that? If your son was treating somebody how he was treating the women, would you be the Sedella of the situation and support it? I think these are the takeaways for me. Um, yeah. Yeah, me just I read the people in book. And that me say Lady Leo, me just I read the people in book. Flawless, what's going on? Give thanks for coming through. I thank everybody for coming through. You know, um, I know you said stop giving them attention. I kind of wanted just to stop a little bit, just a little bit, and just acknowledge that, hey, I hear you, but this is where I am with the conversation. Some channels you go on, they gonna go in on you. YouTube is not. You guys are on YouTube. You know, YouTube is an interesting place. Some people don't understand the purpose of book clubs. You have to be mature enough to understand that everyone doesn't agree with your opinion. Right. But be professional when you do have an opinion. And I will agree, the book club means everybody, if you have an opportunity, read the book, right? So that when you're coming, you're bringing viewpoints that we may not have known before, or a different spin that I may not have considered, right? I'm just sharing, like I said before, these common cores, especially when I'm cross-referencing, to see why people don't like Don Taylor. Let me go ahead and see what is turning people off from him, right? We have and since when you come up, please let me know how to say your name. But we have somebody who's just joined us. Welcome to the conversation.
Hello.
Yes, welcome to the conversation.
Oh, that was me. It's artists
Artist, welcome.
on you personally. What you're doing, what I've been listening to since the month of February, because I've got this rebirth of Bob Marley,
Mm-hmm.
and I just can't stop thinking about it, stop listening to his music, stop just have this whole thing about it, and having you here reading what you're doing and commentating and doing your thing and throwing the pot wine in there. It just makes me laugh. And I'm just lowered around everybody. And I'm just turning it up so other people can hear what you're doing. You're so much enticing me and others to know more. A lot of us are not reading a lot and that would never know
Mm-hmm.
about these books.
True.
But because of the resurgence and the movie and everything, it's just brought so much thing to light. There's nothing wrong with what you're doing. I love it. Do your thing. This is your platform. You own it. You do your thing.
Thank
And
God.
don't be distracted. It's like being on the wall. Don't be distracted by others that are around you that come around you and try to distract you. Don't be distracted. Keep doing your thing. You're doing a great thing. I had
Thank you.
so much to say about Bob Marley on last week, but I didn't know how to get this link thing here. I didn't even know it was here. I was playing around trying to figure out what link are you
Yeah,
talking
you click
about.
the link. When I drop the link, then you click it and it will bring you up. Yeah.
Right. Thank you. So I just want to thank you. Thank you. Other people have told you, please, and I think you know it. You're doing a
Mm-hmm.
fabulous job. Take it from me. There are more on here that are crazy about what you're doing than the little phallicy them that are saying what they're saying to distract you to come off the wall. Okay. So
Thank you,
your
artist.
smile, your everything, it takes a lot. Look at me. I'm in the dark. I can't even come on camera and I think I'm beautiful. But, you know, I just keep doing your thing. What you're doing with these books, it just really bringing to light a lot of things. I actually grew up the road from where Bob Marley used to play down in Tinson where they used
Okay.
to play soccer. I live
Okay.
right like a street, not even a street, a walk down because that's where we used to go and play. So
Okay.
whenever he used to pass our yard, them say, and go
Mm.
play there, Bob Marley dead on the road, Bob Marley down the road. And everybody used to run down to Tinson just to go watch him play.
Wow.
And I was a kid then, so I knew him, but I didn't know of him like
Right,
that.
right.
So I was a kid, but it's like Bob Marley don't ever want him on him friend him.
Right,
Them a
right.
play a
Them up play a ball.
yeah,
That's hilarious.
firecracker or busing.
Mm-hmm.
So I understood that. So my research of this movie and everything that you're reading, it's just to me, it's just I love it. And it's all about you right now. I'm talking about. I love it, and I'll keep dropping Bob Marley in there because yeah. Next time I come on and I give my input on that, and Miss Cindy thing here, who is the little side chick, who's a side chick who want to be a main chick. If everybody would speak, you would have about 100 women being in her place, but everybody
Wow.
else know their place. So
Wow. Thank you so much. All right, for those who just joined us, welcome to the conversation. We just doing a little artist over here trying to figure out how to I'll take you out to the chat for you. Yeah, so for those who just joined us, welcome to the conversation. We're just doing a little housekeeping. You understand me? I say we just I do a little tidy up, a little straighten up. I know nothing big. Some people don't recognize the Bada says or understand critical thinking and the idea of impartiality. Life is not black and white. Many things can be true. At that part there, many things can be true at the same time because of where you're coming from, the part that you are on the circle. You know the circle, that part. Yeah, yeah. It depends on where you are, where you're standing. You could have saw something, and somebody could have seen something else. Now you come together for you guys to cross reference. What did we actually witness? That it's very important. So I agree. Thank you so much. Shalom, sis. Yep, my rest was well. It was well. It was well. Give thanks. The truth must have a flow. Every time, every time, every time. Blakey says it seems like only saints are making comments. Look, again, if I cross reference, that's why I don't shy away from comments of people who don't agree. Iron sharpen iron. All I ask is like, even when you're talking to one another, just be respectful. So if you see a comment disappear, nobody say, boy, moon up sabotage thing, you make the whole of my comment them disappear. If you chip in bad word, if you carrying on the most, a YouTube, but been done already have the thing set so that, I don't wake up one day and there's a barrage of foolishness in the comment section. So if we're going to talk to one another, I just ask we do it respectfully. Um, for real, reading it like you say. The books, again, for those who want to know, it's archives.org. They have a lot of books in this kind of like an online library. You actually have to have an account. It's free. You can check it out one day at a time, 1 week at a time. Read the book, then come in and we jam. We have the conversation. Child, you had me read Sedella's book, Finishing a Day. You see that promoting literacy, reading and them something there. Even that Jack Rabbit, Don Taylor, took me a week. Next, I'm going to reread Rita's book. That's what I'm liking to hear. That's what I'm liking to hear. Yep, Marcus the precursor. When Bob he amplified it. So, to me, it's like, okay, it's like him, you trying to find your family history. Okay, why were you on this level? Let me go. That's why I spent so much time on City and Norval. Some people be like, where you did on City and Norval for? Go, Bob. You're not going to understand Bob unless you understand City and Norval. And City and Norval, they were quite the couple, okay? The issue is people are so used to stick to one book, read it from the beginning to the end. The way how Amuna is doing is different. I have gotten used to it. Thank you so much, Tasia. It to me, I used to just read the book them straight. But if everybody responsible for reading, right? Right now, I'm just, okay, this is the subject matter that all of these books address. Like, I was reading Don. I'm gonna just give this little one. And I was like, yo, if I had read this when I did the Tobe video, then I would have had to read it. Because why did Don say Rita was like, Don, you know, see your Bob to a rotten off? This was early before he goes. I'm like, what? But in her book, City says the same thing, that it was brought to the attention, but Don just says it in a way that made you be like, yo, why did she say that? And Don is asserting that they were, I think, in France, and because of Rita's concern, they called a house doctor, and the house doctor stuck a needle and then took off the toenail. And Don is asserting that situation had something to do with what happened. But again, I'm reading and I'm like, oh, that would have fit in this particular conversation if we were cross-referencing. Rasa in the city, welcome. Greeting, greeting, greeting. Greeting, Jacqueline, greeting. You shocked? I'm not shocked, Trish. I'm not shocked. I've had people feel a way about reading books. It's interesting. I don't know, man. I don't know. Lady Dio said, you're the reason I bought and read Rita's book. Prop, prop, prop. I'm so glad Rita's book is number one on Amazon. The movie, the book clubs, more people getting interest. That's what's up. Sedella book me I go read. You have to read that one there. Dan book and Kimani in my shopping cart. I saw me said, me just put the book them in my shopping cart, and when me get a little thing, whoop, I hit that I come. I see just tripping in the comment.
People are so used to stick to one book read it from the beginning to the end.
If you just tripping, if you could turn off the speaker, we're actually listening to behind. There's a little bit of an echo, but welcome to the conversation. Can I be heard? Just tripping.
Then I would have to read it, because why did Don say Rita was like, Don?
Says you could turn off the background
third or
speaker.
fourth. He said it's the same thing, that it was brought to the attention.
Can you hear me?
Why did she say that? And Don is asserting.
Just tripping. Just let me know if you're ready to come up, because the speaker in the back is what's causing the reverb on the it's causing the reverb on it.
It took off.
All right, it's off now. You can go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Hello, Miss Imuna. How are you?
I'm doing blessed. I'm doing blessed. How you doing?
You know, I'm awesome. I have a revived um, excitement for the book clubs. I used to do it many years ago, and I'm starting it now. And just like the other caller that came in, and she said that after she watched the movie, she said, "Wait, something's missing," and there was something missing, even though the movie was really great. I was like, "Wait a minute." This man had so many picnics all over the place, and I'm just learning new words, and I'm learning about the Jamaican culture, and I'm loving how you add your voice to it, and you add your patois to it. It's everything is just so awesome. But one thing I really love is the cross referencing,
Mm.
because you start with one book and you're like, wait a minute, let me go to see what Miss Adela has to say, and then after you did your cross referencing, I started doing my own digging, and then I found two more books. So I'm reading the book about Peter Tosh now, and I'm like, oh, I mean, that book is so juicy, and it's coinciding with some of the things that I'm learning about Rita, and some of the things that I'm learning about Sadella, and then the book um, Catch a Fire
Mm-hmm.
really gets into detail about the courts proceedings and what was said verbatim in the court. So I'm like, oh my God. I
Mm-hmm.
think I have to agree with you. If this was a extended in a way, it needs to be a Netflix series. But I don't think the older children that were produced by Bob and Rita, I don't think they want to share and shed light on their parents in a negative way.
Right, and it's understandable. Mm-hmm.
Right. And I saw an interview when they were talking about the movie, and Sadella, she almost was about to say something, but she caught herself. And
Mm-hmm.
what she was about to say was that it, and this is when she stopped, and she said there were times where she thought that she would have her father to herself. And then during that time, the other children had to come over, and then she stopped herself. It's on YouTube. I found that video on YouTube. So if you find it, you will see what I'm talking about. So
I've
it's
seen
a
a couple.
lot.
It's a lot. I've seen a couple of times where they look like they want to say something and then they pull back. You know what I mean? Which is understandable because there's a lot riding on the image, and I think that's why people are like, "Oh, what's the agenda?" But the point is that these books were already written. So it was
Right.
already shared. It's public information. It's not like we there they peep through them window and say, "Oh, what them over there?" You understand what I'm saying? So because it's given for public consumption and this narrative has been given it to the public, it's even if we're gonna consume it, we should do our due diligence so that we don't pass on misinformation. This has helped to
Yeah.
clear up a lot of things that we didn't know, so that we are not, perpetuating something that may have been false, right? So definitely go ahead though.
Yeah. I've learned a lot. That even though it's their family that we're talking about, there's foolishness in every family. I did the ancestry test. I found out that I have a half sibling. And I'm
Wow.
like, oh my God,
Wow.
and yeah, it's not something that I personally want to embrace. Like, oh, I got a new brother or I got a new sister. No, like what, you know? And and my dad, he portrayed himself as like this saint, and then to get this test done and come back, and I have this half sibling that looks like a werewolf. I'm like, what happened here? Like what happened? So and so I can kind of relate, and I can see why some individuals are perhaps triggered by some of the things that they're hearing, deal with what you need to deal with on your own, but don't take it out on the person that is conducting the book club. You're just reading what was already written, like you stated. Deal with your own demons. Go see counseling. It's there. Our melanated people didn't go to counseling at one point. Now it's not taboo for us to go to counseling. Seek counseling. If you're triggered by something that you are hearing in a book club, you may need to speak to somebody. I raise my hand. I am a therapist. That's what I do.
Okay.
So I'm enjoying all of this for a reason. One, I get a break from hearing people's problems every day, but it's also I'm learning with my own, because therapists need therapy too sometimes.
True. Well, it's
So
good
I'm
to
not
know
going to
we
hold
have
up
a
your
therapist
time.
in the house.
Huh?
No, I said it's good to know we have a therapist in the house.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And I'm going to always support you. You better believe that.
Thank you so
I don't
much.
know if you still have a restaurant or not, but if you do, I'm coming to get me some food.
Yeah, I had to close momentarily. Take
Oh,
downtime.
okay.
It was a lot. That's why the people's like, get a life, Amuna. I was like, if only you knew, man. This is actually the first downtime I've had in years. You know what I mean? Because I'm always, let me do this, let me do that, let me write this, let me write that. You know what I mean? So I'm resting, if I could call it that. But thank you so much.
You're very welcome, and I can tell you're a busybody, and I am so attracted to very educated folks. That is very attractive to me. So,
Thank you.
shout outs to you, shout out to everybody else that's tuning in, because 90% of us are on the same page with you. We like to be intellectually stimulated, and we need that break from work. So this is what gives me a break, and 9 out of 10, when you're giving these lives and posting these videos, I'm behind the wheel of my car. When I first found you, I was on the road. I was in Dubai, I was in Abu Dhabi, I was in Turkey, I was in Italy,
Wow.
all of these places. And I'm trying to follow what you're doing 3-4 o'clock in the morning, because we're on a different time zone. So
Right.
I'm riding with you to the end. Better believe it.
Thank
So
you so
take
much.
care, and I'm not going to hold you up.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your words. Thank you for your encouragement. And everybody, thank you. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Yes,
All greetings. Welcome to the conversation.
blessings. I'm saying greetings from the Bronx, New York City.
Bronx, BK in the building. So how I say your name, Maaji?
Yes, I
All
was the
right.
one that suggested that you should have like a panel so we could all get on. So
All
thank you
right.
for doing it.
There we go. So share your thoughts. Welcome to the conversation.
Yo, I just want to say thank you for doing your works. You are definitely a chosen one. I love how you do your raps and you're bringing us all together on the tip of reading and, feeding our mind, body, and soul.
Thank you.
Having said that, I want to talk about something that has not been brought up,
Okay.
which is that before I go there, I just want to say this real quick. Bob Marley had a relationship with his mother,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody could fill that shoe. So at
True.
the end, all these women that he had, at the end, it was about him and his mother. Whenever he wanted to get away from all these women, he would go to his mother.
True.
Whenever he didn't have a relationship with his mother growing up, that he never felt that void. Now, moving forward, what I want to say is Bob Marley was chosen by the Most High to represent one love. Now, Rastas don't believe in death; they believe in reincarnation. So, where is Bob Marley's reincarnation at right now? See, and what I want to say is that his reincarnation is in a female vessel today, and his reincarnation has been revealed. And just not to keep you in a mystery.
Yeah, I'm waiting. You see me over here like I'm over here like, okay, I'm listening.
Sister Amuna, I'm bringing you the jewels for real. So Bob Marley is on Earth right now, reincarnated as a female, and this female It's on YouTube with the name Dasi. 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 Once you go on that YouTube, all the receipts, all the proof is right there. Now, moving forward, because Bamali is a reincarnation. If you read up Revelation, it talks about the seven spirits and the seven kings and the eighth king. So Bamoli is the eighth king in Revelation. But moving forward, Amuna, do you have any questions for me?
That's curious. I'm gonna have to think about that one. We might have to come and have a whole different conversation because there's a lot of places that people put Bob Marley, and I think this is why, you know, it becomes a very emotional topic for people because, like you're saying, you may see him as, you know, a fulfillment of revelation, and somebody else may see him as a prophet, and somebody else. You understand what I'm saying? So I definitely think that may be another space that will help to clear up why we may be button heads with this type of information coming out. You understand what I'm saying? So
Indeed.
yeah. That's definitely something. I'm not the person who just jump off and talk. If I just get something brand new, I kind of like to just think about what I just heard. You know what I mean? So
Well,
definitely thank you for sharing.
respect to you. I love the way you break it down, and I'm definitely supporting this chat, supporting your channel, and please, everybody, put the like up, put the like up.
Thank
There's
you,
no other
guys.
channel like this right now. Thank you, Amuna. Have a beautiful night to you and your family.
Thank
One
you so
love,
much. Blessing.
blessings.
All right, thank you so much for that. For those who just joined us, welcome. We rocking out tonight, y'all. I did a little housekeeping in the beginning. You understand what I'm saying? Talk up the team, and now yeah. So if you want to click the link and come on up, all that I ask is that we're respectful. You know, we show the one love thing. We can't say one love and we can't show one love, right? So the bada them in the spot. Welcome to the conversation.
Amuna, I'm
What
so happy to finally be up here. What? Look,
what's going on? Sorry, before you start, shout out to Lady Leo in the building for supporting the channel. Give thanks. Go ahead, sis. My apologies. Go ahead.
no problem. So I saw the movie for the first time like a few days ago because I just
Okay.
wanted to wait a bit. Um, I like a lot of people grew up like my family. We're Cameroonians, but I grew up with like African Rastas, so
Okay.
it's like you know I've always had an interest in you all Jamaicans and the Marleys and whether it's
Mhm.
Jimmy Cliff, whether it's Steel Pulse.
Right, right.
So yeah, like what am I trying to say? So anyway, let me regress. So I saw the movie and just so many thoughts came to mind, right? One of the first things, and I'll just touch on this like at a high level, was just like, man, like would this type of impact that this man had, could it ever be duplicated? You know what I mean? Like that was one of the things that I thought about. Uh, and another thing was, I mean, it just seemed like, as I think we've covered, obviously based off of all of the videos and the
Mhm.
books and the cross referencing, it, it, yeah, it was about Bob, but it did seem like it was a love letter to
Mm.
Rita in a way, and
Mhm.
people might kill me for this, right? Be-
Speak your truth. Speak your truth.
People might kill me. People might kill me for this. And I read Rita's book. I've read Rita's book like years ago. And one of the first things that kind of annoyed me about the book, and to be honest, I kind of felt insulted, was when, she lied about Stephanie. That time that she said, was talking about, oh, when Bob basically almost R-word
Mhm.
her,
Mhm.
and she thinks that's how Stephanie was conceived. I mean, obviously don't quote me, but I mean, I think you discussed that.
Right,
I
right.
was just like, isn't that common knowledge that Stephanie isn't his child? So the fact that like she included that in the book, I'm like, when when you lie about something, and hey, I mean, to me it sounds like a lie. So if you lie about something that is, something that's kind of big, so when you lie about something like that, it kind of makes me question your credibility in a way,
Mm.
and I know that a lot of us, like, obviously we know that Rita is the wife, and we know she's the queen and everything, like, and obviously you can't deny all of the sacrifices that she made.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like I said earlier in one of my comments, like multiple things can be true.
Mm-hmm.
Like even as it relates to Cindy, I used to have issues with her primarily because of, of course, just her boldness, and you could slightly like reckless in how like she just disregarded the fact that this man was married, whether you knew or not, which we know that at one point you did know, but you still kept it going like this man was married. But
Mm.
at the same time, like Bob is the one that emboldened her.
Right.
He's the one that emboldened her. And I think that, I mean, if he wrote Turn Your Lights Down Low for her, he loved her. I mean, I feel
You
like,
think so?
yeah, I think so. I mean, but it goes back to like what you were talking about concerning love, right?
Right.
Like the definition of love. Like
Right.
he felt very strongly for her because that song, it sounds like he's crooning. Like he loved her. If in fact he wrote like Waiting in Vain for her, if he wrote like what is that song? She Used to Call Me Dada. If he wrote those songs for her, indeed, like, as an artist, like if you can write that about someone, I feel like there was something about her. It's not to say that he 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 was devoted to her. Obviously, he wasn't devoted to any woman,
Right.
but I do feel like, yeah, she was wrong. Yeah, she's been disrespectful, but somehow, first of all, he emboldened her. And whether we like it or not, she had a role in his life. Like, she will always be woven into his legacy, no matter what, you know?
Now, that leads me to this question. Do you think, or what do you think of the role that these all of the woman them and all of the queens, what do you think the role of all of them actually played in this figure of Bob Marley? Like, would he be the same, or would he have had the same appeal if this type of excess in his life didn't exist? You understand what I'm saying?
To be honest, Amuna, I don't think so.
Right, right.
I don't think so because it's just like it's just who he is. Like it's just a part of him. Like and they literally all played a role. Like I was watching a video about like Esther Anderson,
Right.
and it just seems like he really did gravitate towards women that I don't want to say they could do things for him, but
Sound like hypergamy to me.
yeah, it's just like they all played a role in his life. And of course, like look, concerning everything that Rita did, everything that she's still doing, what we can't deny that his relationship with Cindy definitely helped him in that effort to cross over, like the timing. We don't care too much about Miss World now, but that was a big deal
That
back
was a
then.
big deal,
That
yeah.
was a huge deal. So whether we like it or not, that whatever plan that they had, whatever strategy that they tried to implement in order to allow him to have that international appeal, she helped.
Okay.
It's the truth. So I feel like it's just a part of the package, the womanizing the children, like it just adds to that, the depth, like imagine if we weren't talking about if there was no Cindy, if he had this perfect relationship with Rita, then the movie itself, like all of these conversations, all of these books that
Wouldn't be happening. I don't right. I agree. They wouldn't be as controversial as like that's grabbing the people's attention because it would be like, okay, all is normal, all is well. You know what I mean? So it's kind of
yeah,
this to see all aspects of the character. It made, like you're saying, it made him who he became. And without that, like
exactly.
in the Esther Anderson film, him cuss bad word like a sailor,
Yeah.
right? That's not the Bob who's on stage singing "Stir It Up." But
Mm-hmm.
when he's in that documentary, if you haven't seen it, it's on YouTube. You can rent it or buy it. He's cussing beer, bad word, and I'm like, "Ma, it's for father." You know what I mean? What's going on, brother, brother Bob? You know what I mean?
Right.
But that was part of the person. That was part of the person, and according to some of the other accounts, he still spoke like that. He didn't speak like
Yeah.
that when he was singing, but he spoke like that when he was off stage. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that was just interesting to note.
And I think also too, like, Bob was really a Bush boy. like we as, like Africans or Cameroonians, like, like if you heard the concept of like a JJC, like a Johnny just come, someone that has just come from, like, let's say someone that's just,
Country. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I realized, like, watching the movie and even seeing the actor, like, a lot of people complained about how they wanted someone that was, I guess, more authentically Jamaican as the lead. And I didn't really understand it until like I saw it. I think the actor did a great job, but it was just like Bob was so rugged. Like he was Bush, like all of this. Yeah, I mean, not in a bad way,
No, no,
but
I
like,
understand.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like that too, like people kind of forget that even in his dealings about, like, whether it's how he handles women, like whether like his conflict resolution skills, like, yeah, of course we talk about like the family that he came from. You mentioned that a lot and we go into that, but it's like, yeah, he came from the street, you know? He's a bush boy, or he was a bush boy in a way. But we
Mhm.
love it. We love it. We're here for it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for letting your voice be heard. Thank you for coming up to the mic. If anybody else would like to share, feel free to come on through. I'm not gonna stay too long today. You don't know it already. But yeah, I might come over and do these documents. Thank you so much, sis. I'm gonna come through and do these documents probably in the top of the week. I am winding down. I am winding down on the Bob cities, unless I get like a, you know what I mean, something will make me have to come back on it. But we definitely gonna pick up on Amy 1 on Amy 2 on Marcus Garvey's side, because there's a story to be told. Welcome to those who just joined us. I'm gonna keep coming through. Uh, Usually the big stars are flawed human beings. If you look at this, there's something about them that makes the world gravitate towards them, and it's usually this painful tussle between who they are and who they want to be and what they've been through, and kind of that's what the world sees and gravitates towards. Lady Leo says it's true, separating the Bob the world knows and the human flawed Bob is unfathomable. Yeah, for a lot of people, he's still Bob the world knew. No problem, Nadine. We're gonna work on that. We're gonna work on that. Thank you. You've been balanced, sharing each story. That's what I try to do. Me not have no dog in other fight, you know. You understand what I'm saying? I could be writing another book right now. Like I said, it's a little downtime. I could be writing another book right now. That's the stuff I like to do to entertain myself. You understand? So why not come and give a balanced perspective? Like, I've gone to different channels and different conversations, and it's all this partiality. It's all this, like, like, where are we going with this? You know what I mean? Like, okay, let's let the story talk the story, and then people come to their own conclusions. Lady says I actually love him more. He's relatable and encouraging, she says. Let me see here. She said I wake up to the sun is shining. Sun is shining. The weather is sweet. It's already on Prime. Oh, it's already out. Okay. Can't wait to see the director's cut. All right, all right. It's already on Prime. Prime never waste no time. Where's the Prime? It never waste no time. All right. I see someone is in the chat. Welcome to the conversation.
Hey, Amuna, can you hear me?
How you doing? Yes, I can hear you. How do I say your name?
It's Cintisha.
Cintisha, welcome to the conversation. How are you today?
Hey, I'm good. I'm good. Listen, I just wanted to pop up. This is the first time I'm ever doing this, but I just want to
Okay.
encourage you. Please keep it going. I mean, I'm always in your comments and everything. I'm a librarian, right out here in New York on Long Island, and this is what we try to do in our profession, to bring people together to discuss freely. Because as you know, books are being banned and censored and everything. So
Mm-hmm.
don't let the nonsense get in your way. So
Thank
I think
you.
you're doing a marvelous job, and I enjoy this.
Thank
So
you.
that's my two
Thank
cents.
you.
And I do also appreciate the fact that you're balanced. I have to say, I'm very I'm Team Rita, and
Hey,
but I'm
speak your
also
truth.
Team Bob. You know what I'm saying? And just the legacy, his legacy. None of us are
Right,
perfect. He was a flawed man, but you can't dispute the genius, and you can't
right,
dispute what Rita brought to the table, and the
right.
fact that she raised other people's children while he was married to her. You know, to me that has to count for something. So
Mm,
that's my 2 cents. Please don't let these other distractions get in the way of the work that you're doing now. I'll be here for the next book, and I'll
yes.
also be here to keep talking about this for a couple of weeks. So we'll see.
Yeah. No worries, man. We still, yeah, we're gonna cross-reference it. Thank you so much. You heard that, everybody. It's librarian approved. Okay. We're having book clubs and discussions. Santisha, thank you so much. There's a lot of people that say if you want to hide something from Black people, put it in a book. Who said that? First of all, we need to track down that source. Second of all, we read. We discuss, we have conversations, we exchange. You understand what I said? No, make me see. What Disney always tell where don't involve Rasta in your say. Expound. Lady Leo, Bob is a Rasta. Rasta is Bob. Have to mention Rasta. Yeah, I mean, the link is in the box. The link is in the box. For those who just joined us, I'm just coming through on the comments here. Let me see here. Shout out to Valerie Green. Give thanks for the super chat sticker. What you say? A more book we are gonna buy. Like, what is Mona doing with the super chat? Buy book, more book. For some reason, I like physical books, y'all. I like to read on the computer, but I personally like physical books. So that's my thing. Yep. The legacy is, I think the legacy, and that's the question. What is the legacy? Lady Leo says the legacy is the message, right? Um, and there's so many people that have different, like when we say things. I used to do like a community conversation. I love community conversation, as you can see, right? Because how are we gonna grow and link and vibe if we don't have an opportunity to exchange? And I used to do something called word association. Throw out a word, and then everybody go around in a circle, like group conversation, and in smaller context, and you tell me what comes to mind when I say this word. And what I learned, not because I was just sitting there making it up, what I learned is we all have a different picture in our mind based on our own personal experiences. And the confusion comes in is when we assume that the picture associated with the word that I said is the same picture you have. And 9 times out of 10, it is not. And I learned that doing these group sessions over and over and over again. And I'm like, you know what? Now you ask people, define love, define legacy, because the definition for one may not be the definition for the other. And we're arguing and never able to come to an understanding because we're not taking enough time to listen. You don't know? Rasta in the city says, every man have a dark history. We all have things. Patricia, welcome to the conversation. Beverly says King David. Yeah, King David was anointed, but every week people sit down and have Bible study about King David. You know what I mean? Because now King David was anointed for a job, but King David was also a man. And in many ways, that men of today fall as men of antiquity fell in the same way. You understand me? I say? No, YouTube is not for the weak. You got that right, sis. When am I going to read my autobiography? I'm re-editing it. Right now I'm re-editing it. It was out for a while. I'm re-editing it, and then I'm still reading Island Twist and this. So you don't know. I'll let you know when I'm done. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm proud that everybody is here who wants to be here, a part of the discussion conversation where your voice is valued, right? And it allows people to look forward to the notification, come in, talk, exchange, grow. I can't ask for nothing more. And we're doing it around literacy and growth. Dr. Charles said I had all 3 books for years and I've never read them. Now I'm digging like backside of what that it say at this inside there. Ay. Yeah. Yep. Let me see here. Fire off a burn. The truth shall set us free. You know what I mean? The truth shall set us free. I mean, the truth is not always going to be beautiful. Like you said, we're humans. We're flawed. We make crazy choices. Then you look back and be like, "Yo, that was wild. Why did I do that? That didn't make any sense." And that's why, even in the conversation with Peter and Rita and Bob, I have to put in that, yo, they're 19, they're 20, they're not 30 and 40. They're young. What were we doing at that age? So I never try to have the conversation outside of, have we gotten into those type of situations, and what type of trouble would we have, people that we know or ourselves, so that we could kind of put ourselves in a position to say, maybe you would have did that, maybe you did do that, maybe you would have never did it. But it doesn't make you, oh, so much better than the next person. You could possibly identify with the person because you've been there. You understand what I'm saying? Brooklyn Homestead said, I agree. Hopefully it will encourage us to go back to reading books. Great job. Thank you so much. And not only reading, like I said, write the books, open book media. I write articles over there. I give so much free information away over there. The articles talk about how to develop characters if you want to write fiction, how to self-publish, how to do all of these things. Because it's not only just about reading books, it's also about writing them. Writing your own family history, making sure that when the elders, they say when an elder dies, a library burns to the ground. Why? Because we don't have the information. So when your grandpitney and great grandpitney, if somebody not taught the thing, it gone. If somebody don't taught the thing, it gone. This is why I started to read the voices of the enslaved, right? And I got certain books with their narratives in it. Their great grandchildren may be running around here and wondering and having questions, and come across a video and be like, yo, my such and such lived in this area. I didn't know. There was a whole project called the Writers Project during the Great Depression in America. And what was happening was the people who were born, the last set of people born enslaved, they were in their older years. And the government funded a project called the Writers Project, where they dispatched people to go out into the community and get and interview the narratives and stories of those who lived during that time. Hold on, let me show you one of the books that came out of that. Why is that important? Because now we can stop making up what we think happened. One second, I'm gonna run this commercial real quick. I'm gonna get that book because I just to show you guys, don't get me hyped now, people, because I like talking about this stuff. One second, I'll be right back. Island Twist follows Jackie Brown, a young girl who finds herself head over heels for the new island boy at school in fresh outer yard, and Jackie has the fever. But as she navigates the ups and downs of her new crush, things quickly spiral out of control when her not-so-secret admirer becomes determined to sabotage her relationship. So check out the new novel, Island Twist, over on Amazon today. Now back to the story. All right, I did have to grab my book. Look, this book right here is called Weevils in the Wheat, right? That book here, interviews with Virginia's ex-slaves. This was part of the Writers Project in America. As you can see, me mark up the whole of the book. Mark up the whole of the book. Whole of the book mark up. Why? Because I wanted to know, not from our perspective in 2000 and whatever, what we think they were going through. They told us. Do we care? Do we want to read and say, what was their daily life like? What was the situation like? What was their family life like? It's hard because you're going to go in it and read some stuff that is still painful. It's like this Bob Marley narrative. For people who are not ready for it, it's like, why are you talking about that? That's painful. But the reality is, for me, because my objective for doing this was not only literacy, but healing, I had to allow myself to feel whatever emotions would come up, whatever feelings that I would be feeling because of the way in which our foreparents were treated. I thought it was important. And so, much like I think this is important, right? Because it's all in the same vein. Let me go back over here. So this book right here is short. It's just little different ones. It tells you where they got them from. It tells you their experiences. It tells you what they were willing to share and family members. And it's deep. I love it. That's one of my favorite of that kind. Let me continue. That's true. You have to read and comprehend. Oh no, you only got the companion journal. I don't know why Amazon is hating on me, but I've gotten that complaint from a lot of people, and I type it in as well, and I only see the companion journal coming up. So I have to figure why that is, because I'm seeing a lot of people getting sent to the companion journal versus the actual book, and I saw that was the case as well. So I have to do some investigation as to why that is happening. Because what in the world? But if you click the link in the box, I put a specific link in the box under each video, then it should take you to the page until we figure out why Amazon is doing that. Nefertina, this has been a wonderful experience. I agree. What time would they on? 10 o'clock. Me go wind down now. Definitely. Let's get it. Yeah, I agree. Let's get it to subscribe button. Let's push it up to 10,000 subscribers. You know what I mean? Let's keep the channel growing and have the conversation going. I agree, Lynette. Perception is a thing. There's no the perception. That is what I'm trying to also show, that our perception is a perception, is where we are on the circle. But it doesn't mean that we can't have this conversation. Yo, that circle, there's so many memes in my mind from this study. I can't unsee it. Like, the circle is everything, man. The circle is everything. Right. We finally know Norval. I agree. That's true. That's true. His picture been floating around, and people say they don't know who he was. And there's so much information, and they keep getting Norval conflated with Norval's uncle. Norval, is it his uncle? Norval's father, Albert, had a brother named Norval. He was the ship captain. So when people keep saying that think their father was a ship captain, it's not him. That's the Norval that's in, because you know they kept naming everybody the same name. That's the Norval that was in England. And it's interesting to see how Bob when he leaves, he returns back to where his grandfather came from. And then he finds some kind of like solace, and he kind of blows up and explodes on the stage in the same place that his grandfather came from, without real reason as to why the grandfather left. I find that interesting, that once he went there, his career expanded, right? Diana, happy? I mean, I haven't heard much from her. That's interesting. All right, guys, I'm coming down here. Yeah, the 2012 documentary, I think it has a lot of information in there. It has a lot of information. All right, I'm almost done. Lala says, Amuna, you deliver with a line upon line approach, pulling pieces together from these books. That's my biblical studies. Line upon line, precept upon precept. You understand? When you're doing deep biblical studies, you gotta be able to cross-reference. You gotta be able to make that, it gotta line up now. It gotta line up. If y'all want a biblical study, I have one on the channel. It's called Did Saul Hate David? I think it was like 8 parts. So it's something that I just do across the board. What? Oh no, Dr. Charles says, I'm a psychologist and I don't have many melanated clients. We have a psychologist in the spot, everybody. So if this is bringing up some feelings, maybe Dr. Charles can give us some references to some people that we can talk to. Hit the like button, hit the like button. Just tripping. So we have 2 psychologists in the spot. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let me see. I love the connections and the network that is happening up in here. Let me see. I'm coming all the way down to the bottom now. Anybody else want to click and come in? Let me know. If not, I'm going to boogie at about the 1:30 mark. I mean, I could see how for people who are saying about the Rita situation, I could see how for her coming to terms with or speaking plainly about something that puts her in the light. Because when I first read the book, it didn't register because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know who was who because I wasn't that deep into it. So I didn't catch it till afterwards. I'm like, huh? when I read Sedella's book, I had to go back to Rita's book, like, oh, because she was kind of speaking in a way where if you didn't know, I'm like, So definitely, you know, you know. Yeah, turn your lights down low. It's just remix of the I think so. I think he has a stream of emotions, and then you're a songwriter. I write as a songwriter. I've written songs, number of songs and books and poems, and it really, you have a style, you have a vein in which you write, and so sometimes things may sound like the other thing, and then you just, you do your thing. All right, nobody else coming up. Yeah, funny. I keep me on my toes. Yeah, Animal Ranger, when I read tonight, and I just wanted everybody to have an opportunity to share their thoughts. I wanted to share my thoughts on some of the stuff I was seeing in the comment section. I wanted to give my feedback on it. Like I said, if you send me like an article, or if you send me something and you don't mind me mentioning your name, just let me know in the email. But if you don't expressly give me consent to mention your name and you send me an inbox, me not mention it. Because like I said, give thanks to the subscriber. Why? Because I don't want nobody to say, "Muna, where go tell the people them say me for." And I'm like, you know what I mean? Err on the side of caution. Err on the side of caution. Yes, Boozy says, I love the fact you're focusing on iconic Jamaican women behind the legends Rita, Amy, Beverly. That's what I'm saying. I'm seeing some articles come across on some searches I'm doing as related to what was happening, like who's standing behind Marcus, who's standing with Marcus, who's helping him to be this great figure. You know what I mean? And so that's why I think it's worth looking into, in addition to some rediscovering some stuff that we may not have known. All right, everybody. If I missed anything, sorry. If I missed anything, but may I come down to the end, A Peter Tosh review. Yeah, Peter. If Peter had, he said, I remember a video. He said he was gonna write the book. That's what I'm telling people. Write it down, and he didn't write the book. I did hear. What's the name of the woman he was with at the time? I heard her interview with Muta Baruka. It's a lot of stuff here. It's a lot of stuff here. I actually just came across a video of one of Bunny Wailer's youngest daughters. I didn't get to finish listening to the video. I'm like, my goodness, boy, just them three alone. Sean Ellis, I saw when you said that the last time, but that was funny to me. Sean say, you can only top this series if you find yo, yeah, don't make me laugh, yo. Sean say, you can only top this series if you find the autobiography of Nanny written on good skin. But not lie. That series that was fire. But not lie. It organically bloomed and blossomed. But come on, man. Make we give Marcus and Amy and Beverly and them a chance, no man. Make we give them a chance. Make we give them a chance. Make we give them a chance. That was funny when I read it the other day. Not the goat skin though. Well, on our team up in the comment section. All right, everybody. Guess what? I'm gonna go ahead and boogie now. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Everybody have a blessed day. Continue to be nice and friendly down in the comment section. And yeah, we talk again. I have Barracoon, I have that book by Zora Neale Hurston. See that? Me not tell you no one. I have that book here. This book, The Story of the Last Black Cargo. I have this book right here. It's so much to read, man. You can't done read. You can't done read and talk. You can't done. You cannot done. Cannot done. I have another book called Black Fortunes. Another interesting story is the story of the first black millionaire woman, Madam C.J. Walker. Her story is interesting. It's you can't done with story, man. Can't done. Lucy, what me you say? You know, can't you know what, Nesta? I think all the parts have their the Esther documentary is right over here. It's on YouTube. Just put in the making of the legend, and you'll see the documentary come up. So guess what, everybody? If I missed anything, my apologies. Just drop it in the comment section and I'll see it on the other side. When I said Nesta was cursing in the when I said Nesta was cursing in the Esther documentary, BC, PC, RC, you already know, put in the blanks. He was doing the most. He and Peter Tosh was having a spirited discussion about the origins of ganja and who brought it to Jamaica. And Esther, being part Indian, was asserting that ganja was an Indian import with the indentured servants who came over, and Bob was not in agreement, and that it was the black man who brought it, and he cussed the whole heap of bad word and the BC. And I said, "Oh my goodness, Bob, what's all that now? Why are we doing that?" So that's when, yeah, that's what he was doing. Check out that documentary; you'll see that. Yeah, there's so much. Y'all let me Queen Nanny. Oh my goodness, there's so much. There's so much. Y'all know I'll be excited with all the different possibilities. There's a community board for this book. Like what do you mean, just tripping? A community board? Like where you can share different things? Let me know, because then I'll just put it on the site if y'all want to be able to just put something. For right now, the community board is which book? That's too much book in my head. Just let me know which book, and then maybe know how to deal with it. Yo, y'all are funny. Boozy said, "No, you only top this series if you find a pic of Rita and Taki." That was funny. I think Beverly Manley one is gonna be fire. I have to read it. I have to go over it. You know, but definitely. So with that said, let me make sure. Yeah, Madam C.J. Walker one is, yeah. That one is interesting. Are there any books out there on the Maroons? Good question. Anybody in the comment section, let us know. That's why I say write it down, because if we don't write it down, how we fitting to know? Write it down now. If I don't know, that's a good question. You guys let us know if there's any on the Maroons out there. Let me know. Let me know. Yeah, that one, Beverly Kelso's supposed to be writing a book, so we're gonna wait and see. The Gullah folk, when you listen to them, you can hear the Caribbean in their speech. You can definitely hear it. The Gullah Geechee, and right now the Gullah Geechee are being taken over. Their land is being bought out. When you look at what's going on with them in South Carolina, some of them are selling off the land, and the people want to gentrify their area. So there's a lot of sad stuff happening with the culture and with the history. All right, everybody. Mega boogie, you know. Give thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned. Big up yourself. Take care of yourself. Drink your water. Relax. Love your family. Give your hugs and thing. Not the Bunny Weller letter. That Bunny Weller. You're reading Island Twist. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. Let me know. And after y'all done Island Twist, feel free to leave your comment so that it will populate on the Amazon side, because I still don't know what's going on with that. All right. So with that said, I will see you again. Let me go ahead and boogie out here. I can see I know. All right, everybody have a blessed night.